petrochemical industry has the largest and most adverse impact on our daily lives. Petroleum is used in thousands of plastic, pharmaceutical, and agricultural products. But by far, their biggest cash cow is the automobile, and they will use any means necessary to keep it that way. In the early 1990s, General Motors acquired the rights to an innovative new battery and introduced the EV1 electric vehicle.
I got the opportunity to drive the EV1 in 2000. You could plug it in when you got home at night, and you didn't have to really think about it. And the next morning it was all charged up and ready to go. For two, as a commuter car, it was fine. I could keep up with traffic without any problem. It had a range of about 70 miles. The later model that I drove, some months later, went 80 to 90 miles.
In October 2000, GM sold its rights to Texaco, and a week later, Texaco was acquired by Chevron.
The EV1 went away, met its demise, and all the cars, unfortunately, were destroyed. Nobody was given the option to keep any of the cars, so they all went away, they all disappeared. The EV1 posed some threats to the oil industry, and GM saw that it was going down a path that was, in a way, very successful, but maybe potentially could be costly. They saw at the time that that was in the best interest to snuff it out and try to erase it from people's memory.
Ask yourself, why would GM, with a 15-year jump on the rest of the auto industry, sell its battery technology to an oil company? Who owns GM? Could it be the oil industry? Oil companies have been purchasing alternative energy and transportation technology advances for years and suppressing them to ensure their profits grow. They not only control the way we drive, but also have serious effects on the quality of our lives. Climate change, oil spills, and geopolitical conflict are just a few of the consequences.
Breaking us down, they're trying their best to break us down. They're breaking us down, they're trying their best to break us down. Here comes the man.
Yeah, the main thing that we're seeing as climate change has progressed is that the polar regions of the Earth are in general really sensitive. They change a lot more than the temperate latitudes do, and so you'll find very few people that work in the field in glaciology who aren't thinking that right now is an amazing time of change for the polar regions. Something radical is happening to the Earth. One of the key ways that we have to monitor and understand the changes in the ice sheets are satellite data. The other thing that's eventually going to impact all of us is an increase in sea level rise. We're already seeing that, but it's hard to make it clear how important it is when you're talking about a rise from past centuries where it was 2 millimeters to 3 millimeters per year. That doesn't sound like much, but we're at the very beginning of the changes we expect to see in the cryosphere. And by the end of the century, it's looking as though we could see a meter more sea level than we have today, on the order of a meter more.
Some believe that U.S. military involvement in Central Asia is by and large about oil. According to a December 1997 article in The Telegraph, a British newspaper, Unocal, a U.S. oil company, had been negotiating with the Taliban since 1995 to build oil and gas pipelines through Afghanistan. Looking at a map of the American military bases created for the war in Afghanistan, one is struck by the fact that they are located along the route of the projected oil pipeline to the Indian Ocean. Who planned this? Who authorized it? And why? Big Oil has spent billions to build relationships with Congress and will stop at nothing to attain greater profits.
But we now know that Saddam has resumed his efforts to acquire nuclear weapons.
We cannot wait for the final proof, the smoking gun that could come in the form of a mushroom cloud.
On my orders, coalition forces have begun striking selected targets of military importance to undermine Saddam Hussein's ability to wage war. These are opening stages of what will be a broad and concerted campaign.
President this morning has spoken with 3 foreign leaders. He began with Prime Minister Blair, where the two discussed the ongoing aspects of Operation Iraqi Liberation. Well, the point the President is making is he is visiting many of the places that are involved in Operation Iraqi Liberation.
My fellow Americans, major combat operations in Iraq have ended. In the Battle of Iraq, the United States and our allies have prevailed.
The intelligence that we were operating off was correct.
The quality of our intelligence operation, I think we're better than anybody else.
We gathered a lot of intelligence. That intelligence was good, sound intelligence.
There are a lot of people who lie and get away with it, and that's just a fact.